All right, hello. This is assignment 9, terrain editing, where we had to add the ability to actually um, move around and edit the terrain, like the base terrain that we were given, so we could change the height and the different values and basically implement the tools. So we have implemented the tools, like being able to left click to raise the terrain, right click, F to flatten, S to save OBJ to modified terrain OBJ. So we have those things. I will explain just the basic mouse input callbacks. Um, my teammates will basically explain everything else that was worked on, but I will just be explaining this small detail that gets things running that connects with the LWJGL. So we use mouse input callbacks. So with this private mouse move callback, we have the long window. We have the X position and the Y position. Then we set the mouse X and the mouse Y to the X pause and the Y pause. So we've already um, declared mouse X and mouse Y somewhere else in this file. So we just call it here, and we just call these two positions and set it to the different mouse positions. Then we have the mouse button callback. Um, so this is a different function that we also use, a different private void mouse button callback. But instead, this time you have the int button, int action, and int mods. So it takes in different types of, it takes in different values except the other than the X position and the Y position. But we still have the long window. That is something that is consistent throughout. So this basically says the if button um, GLF, GLFW mouse button left, if it equals to the mouse button left, then we're going to be able to say, we can actually finally say that left mouse button is equal to press, excuse me. I don't know why I'm stuttering so much, but left mouse pressed, that's actually going to equal to press. So from the JGL LWJGL library, we have this is where all this is from, all these is from. So once we can finally say that this boolean is true, and we can actually say that um, being that button was pressed is true. Else, if the button, then we have another else if statement. If the button equals the mouse button right, so the right mouse, um, then we can truly say that right mouse press is equal to true. Then we can call this and say the action is equal to pressed. So that is true, and that pairs with um, what our values are for actually raising and lowering the terrain with our left click and with our right click. Um, Unfortunately, I have been having problems. It was working before, um, that everything was running, but I don't know what is the problem with everything now that it's time to submit the assignment. But I do have a picture. It's not going to be like a fully completed project, but it is something to um, maybe idealize to imagine what the actual final product would look like. So I will pull this up. So this is something um, that we have in our terrain editor that we have been working on. So being able to actually change around the terrains. This was from before a screenshot of uh, not the final product, but generally when we had a few problems with the mouse inputs and how it actually um, it would like click on the wrong location and stuff. So we had to fix that around. But basically, you can see like the different types of terrains. We can see it's like very um, uh, I'll say over here first. It's very smooth, very flat right here. Then we have the highs, we have the peaks over here. Then we have just the normal terrain that was set beforehand. So that is something that we can see. But unfortunately, I'm not able to get it running right now. The library has not been nice to me. So that is basically it. Thank you.